it's Linda Winter with another Virtual Expo Let's Get Cozy video. If you noticed, I'm filming myself today. So I'm going to be doing the pot pincher. This is the pot pincher template, and it makes this little guy here. Has a pocket, and it's great for not only grabbing stuff off of the stove and out of the oven, but if you use a towel on the back, then it also can become a nice little duster cleaner kind of thing. So pick up all those cat hairs and that kind of stuff. So pocket, and then inside, outside here. And then we need something in the inside. So when I say inside, this is a cotton fabric that I have here, a cotton fabric here, and we need something to go in the inside. Insulbrite is the choice. This Insulbrite has got that kind of metallic stuff in there that's going to protect your hands from the oven. I like to use this stuff if we're doing the down and dirty, fast and easy for me or for family, not as a nice gift or anything like that, but I do like to use this on the back. It cuts down in one of the steps, and it also is one less piece of fabric to use, so I like to use that. I'm going to show you a bunch of options. First thing I'm going to talk about though is this. This is a 7x9 rectangle. The rectangle comes with a fussy cut frame. I've got one on the table here. The fussy cut frame allows me to fussy cut something. So if I wanted the back, this guy here, to have one of these cute little guys here, I basically would put this on, put the frame inside, watch my fussy cut video so you can see how that's done. But I'm going to use this. Why? It just makes it a lot faster, a lot easier. In the front, I've got fabrics here that I've cut. The template is 7x9. This guy here is 6x9. I've cut 7 by the width of my fabric, so 44 inches. And I like to cut a bunch of fabrics, and that way I can kind of pick and choose. Over here, you can see I've laid some out. This is the inside piece here. This is a pocket, I'm looking to see what's pleasing to my eye. Take a picture of it if you need to so you can take a glance at it. What I found is the smaller prints look better on the inside. A bigger print looks better for the pockets, but you play with that. I'm going to cut 4 pieces at a time, and if I'm really doing this, I'm cutting 8 pieces at a time. That way it'll make several. You need 3. You need one on the top, a pocket, and then one back here, and this most likely will be a different piece of fabric. So this one has 4 different pieces. This is what I've got here, 4 different pieces. So I'm going to use Martelli's rotary cutter. We're going to cut, turn the template. Those of you guys that know Martelli's Get a Grip material, that's what this is. This rectangle is a Winter Designs, and the oven mitt is a Winter Designs. So they're on my website. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. What we're going to do is look at how we're going to do down and dirty, fast and easy. I've got this piece of fabric that I'm going to put away, and we would use this instead. So imagine I've done that. So let's bring that back. We're going to pretend this has the little mousse on the back. So what we want to do is not do all of these layers at the same time. Grab one of your Insulbrites. We're going to take the Insulbrite, we're going to put these 2, and now we are going to put those away. We're going to grab this, and I'm looking to see, do I like the pocket like this and a pocket like this? You can see that. The lighter fabric is here, these are there. Or do I like the idea of having the lighter fabric on the top? I actually like, I said busier is, the smaller is better for the inside, but because this is white, I'm going to place that here. So we're doing down and dirty, and the down and dirty is going to make this really fast and easy. So I'm just folding in half, and I'm folding in half. There are markings on the template. We're not going to use the markings on the template right now though. I know it doesn't make any sense. But you can see, and you really can't, when you zoom in, you might be able to see. There's a hash mark. There's a hash mark. That's for the center of my fabric. Then there's a pocket line and a pocket line. If I'm adding seam binding and I want to cut exactly, then I'm going to use those lines to measure. I'm not going to do that because I'm doing down and dirty, fast and easy. What am I doing? I'm lining up here, I'm lining up here on the outside, my 9 inches. When I place this template on, I'm looking at the top and I'm looking at the bottom to make sure that I don't have any fabric that's not covered. My videos that I talk about with curves and cutting, I show you cutting off. That's what I'm doing now versus cutting around. Cutting around is when I turn the template and I turn the template and I turn the template as I go to cut. Make sure you've got all those little pieces off. Put your glasses on. Unlike me, I don't have my glasses on right now because I can't see you guys here in my camera without them. Okay, so what have we done? We basically cut a pocket, and then this inside fabric here. So we can do seam binding. I'm not going to. I'm going to show you my down and dirty, fast and easy. We're going to fold this over, go to the sewing machine and top stitch. I'll show you a sample of that in a few minutes. We're going to do the same thing of that here, the same thing with this here. If you like a narrow one, we can fold in half and fold in half again, and then top stitch that. And again, I'll show you an example of that in a few minutes. Once you've done that, then we're going to grab these two other pieces here, and we're going to pin those together. So we're going to put that aside, and let's take a look. So this is, zoom in so you can see this. I folded over and folded over again, and I top stitched. So I top stitched twice. You can do that, or you can do, if you like the seam binding, you can add the seam binding once those are folded over. That way I don't have to take the time measuring this pocket. I've given you the lines there, but I'm going to say don't take advantage of them. Do the down and dirty, fast and easy method that I'm showing you here. If you want to top stitch this on, like I've done here, I've used a contrasting thread, white, because I have white in my machine, but also because I have white here. When I line this up, and this would be stitched on, and I line that up, I'm looking, lining up the edges here and the edges here. And I've got my insole right here. I need to add a backing. So I've got my blue towel. That's what I'm using here. Towels are great, but by the way, if you're going to do the heavier weight towels, it's a lot of weight, a lot of weight, a lot of weight. Not only for your fingers to get in and move and manipulate, you don't need all that extra weight, but it's also hard to sew. So if you are going to do towels, I like the lighter weight towels, or don't do the towel here. Don't do the towel here. Don't do the towel here. You can do the towel here if you want to do that. And if you do the towel, by the way, then use these. This is the one that I talked about that grabs. You can see how it's already grabbing some of my fabric. So I've got my blue here. Imagine that being stitched up versus, because of that black seam binding, I'm going to grab this, and now do you imagine, can you imagine the black on the back? Do you see how that just gives a nicer look to me? Okay, so that's that option. So we've done that. This one has none of the seam binding, and zoom into with your video, so, or with your computer, so you can see this is a wider binding. I've folded it over once. Pin, pin, pin. Why have I not cut this out? I don't need to. You can see here I've cut after I've sewn. That's one less step that I have to do. I can cut straight, cut consistently. I can sew consistently. The problem is when I sew, those fabrics are going to move. Even when pinning, the fabrics move. If I cut this shape and this shape out, these two layers out this shape, when I go to stitch, they may not all line up right, and then I'm having to fix the problem afterwards. Instead, just cut yourself a rectangle, and you can use your regular ruler. This is a 2x14 ruler that I make to square off. You don't have to use this one. It just makes it faster, easier. But any way you go, now I've got an outline, basically, an edge to stitch around. When you finish stitching around, then we're going to use the seam binding. By the way, you can make your own seam binding out of the leftover fabrics. Can you see over here how that would be a really cool look if I put that on the edge? You get the idea of that, right? I think that's kind of a neat look, especially if you're doing it with one of these guys here. Can you see that there? See how that just really pops? So the idea is faster, easier, better, more consistent. That's what this guy does. Hopefully that's giving you some good information. Oh, one more thing. Do a practice piece out of junky fabric. This was a leftover towel that I had that had stains on it. This is junk fabric, junk fabric. Test it out. Figure out what method you like. You can measure with this. Let me grab, if I can find a piece of fabric real fast. You can measure this and line this up on those markings. That's what they were there for. And then cut, so you don't have to do any of that. We're going to cut around. This is cutting off, that cut off method. And I can't see this black fabric at all. You guys can probably see it better than me. So I can't see with the black and the black without my glasses, but you get the idea. What that's going to give me is the perfect pocket. So when I put that on, that's going to match up to my other pieces. Let's come over here. This might help a little bit better. Do you see how that gives you that? You can do that, but I like the idea again of folding it over, or folding it over a little bit wider and top stitching. You guys figure out what method works for you, but do a practice piece. So that's it. winnerdesigns.com, W-I-N-N-E-R, like opposite of loser. My YouTube, Linda Videos. My Facebook, go to my Facebook because I'm doing a really big giveaway on Facebook. I'll have it on my website too, but it's not up yet. And all throughout the next 2 weeks for the virtual expo, this is 2018, September 14th through the 23rd, I'll be adding new stuff. So lots more videos. They won't be posted right away. I'm going to be introducing things. I'm having a big sale too, so go take advantage of that. Hopefully this gives you some really good ideas for getting cozy with the pop pincher. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.